Look, part of me wants to believe the hype that David Zaslav and James Gunn keep spewing out, the fact that The Flash is one of the best superhero films ever made, but just looking at the trailer and seeing all the stills and the costume and all that, and the vague idea of what the story is supposed to be, and like the leaks and all that, I don't see how. In fact, in many ways, I don't think The Flash looks that great either. For a film that has taken, what, 10 years to make, it doesn't look that great. And I think one of the things that is making me quite bitter towards this teaser is the fact that it's just relying on the nostalgia bait of having Michael Keaton back as Batman. And look, I'm going to be upfront here. I have not seen Michael Keaton's Batman films. I don't have that nostalgia connection. So every time in the trailers they do something that is iconic from the Batman 89 film or Batman Returns, I just go, yep. That's for the nostalgia bait there. And it doesn't help the fact that Michael Keaton delivers those lines in a pretty bland and bored way. Like, he's there just going like, yeah, I'm saying the thing because I'm saying the thing. Like, you go back to the first trailer and he shows up and he's all just like, yeah, I'm Batman. The look on his face just goes, yep, I said the thing because, yeah, you guys know the thing.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
And then in this current trailer, he says, you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Like, I've seen those clips from Batman 1989. But it's like, yeah, that whole reason he's saying those lines is nostalgia bait. And it's like...
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Really? The thing is too, I can't be too judgy on the trailers because in many ways the trailers are just there to sell the movie, to get people in. It's to appeal to the lowest common denominator to go, hey, see our film. And so... part of me goes, they're playing this up for the trailer, and in the film, it might make more sense. Like, for example, when he says the line, you want to get nuts, come on, let's get nuts. I have a feeling, seeing as how this film is heavily based on the Flashpoint storyline, one of the Barry Allens, because there's two in this film, one of them needs to get their powers back, and so they're going to recreate the lab experiment that made Barry Allen the Flash. And I can probably see that line working in context at some point, but just for the trailer... it's so just heavy-handed and pandery of just like, hey, look, do you remember Michael Keaton as Batman? Do you remember Batman 1989? Look, part of me might be bitter of the fact that they didn't bring in Jeffrey Dean Morgan to play Thomas Wayne Batman. Instead, they just made Michael Keaton the Thomas Wayne figure for the Flashpoint storyline of this film. But it's like, come on, you took Negan as Batman away from me, man. That's so cool, and you threw it away just for nostalgia bait. And then we get to the whole Ezra Miller controversy and that whole can of worms, and just... it's made me dislike Ezra Miller because I don't want to see them portray the Flash, seeing as how they've done all these crimes. And it's annoying because I like Ezra Miller as a performer, and I like their interpretation of the Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Not in Justice League, he's awful in that. I mean, he has one of the best scenes in Zack Snyder's Justice League when he enters the Speed Force. It's so cool, and Ezra Miller plays that scene amazingly. And it's just... seeing what they've done... like, if James Gunn decides to have Ezra Miller playing the Flash moving forwards... I ain't watching it. No. This film was already shot with Ezra Miller before they had done all their criminal activities. I don't want Ezra Miller to play the Flash anymore, even though I like them. They deserve help, they deserve redemption, but not now. They should not be playing heroic characters like the Flash. And I'm saying this as a fan of Ezra Miller. I like them in the Fantastic Beasts films, and I love them in Perks of Being a Wallflower. Perks of Being a Wallflower is one of my favorite coming-of-age films, and I really like Ezra Miller there. They should not be playing the Flash. And I think another reason why I can't really get excited for this film is the fact that James Gunn is doing his weird soft reboot thing for the DC universe, and it's like, what is he actually trying to do here? Is he trying to do a clean slate? Because he's getting rid of Henry Cavill, he's getting rid of Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, I don't know, Shazam 2 flops, Zachary Levi Shazam, probably not. Jason Momoa is still around, maybe. I don't know. And look, I've come to terms with the fact that Henry Cavill was not playing Superman anymore. I've kind of let it go, but in terms of the upcoming DC projects, I can't really be excited because as of right now, I need to see what James Gunn actually does. Like, I will support Superman Legacy unless the stuff I'm seeing I don't like, but as of right now, I hope James Gunn is doing a great job with Superman Legacy and he makes a great Superman film. It's gonna be tough for whoever plays Superman to replace the image of Henry Cavill as Superman on screen for me, but it's okay. I have faith in James Gunn for now. Also, this is going to be our last appearance of Ben Affleck as Batman, and even in the trailer, he looks a bit off. Not the Batsuit. The Batsuit actually looks quite cool. The navy and black combination looks so cool on screen. I'm mainly talking about Affleck as Bruce Wayne. Like, they didn't even give him the proper Bruce Wayne wig from Batman vs. Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League, and just... I don't know, he looks like he'll do a fine job because it's Ben Affleck and Ben Affleck is great, but just, I don't know, he doesn't look like how he does in the Snyder films. And now I'm going to say some nice things about the Flash trailer because as I'm watching this new trailer, I go, okay, I didn't like the last trailer. This trailer is better. And in many ways, I feel like Andy Muschietti is trying to tell a story here. Because the marketing is going so heavily on the Michael Keaton Batman front, I feel like we're losing the story of Barry Allen here. But I feel like when the movie plays out, this is going to be a Barry Allen-centric story. We are going to see the stuff with him in his childhood and the hints of Reverse Flash and all that. In many ways, the stuff here does look kind of cool. There seems to be like a conundrum between the two Barrys where someone wants to kill someone, the other one's like, no, we don't kill, which again is cool heroic Flash stuff. And in many ways, it does resemble the Flashpoint storyline in ways, like they're going to break out Supergirl, who's being experimented on by the government, and Sasha Calle looks great as Supergirl. I wish she was blonde. Like, it doesn't seem much of a stretch for them to give her a wig or to dye her hair blonde. Like, if Ana de Armas can go blonde to play Marilyn Monroe as a Latina, then why can't Sasha Calle as Supergirl? But either way, seeing her in the trailer is cool. I like her costume, although again, I'm more used to the Supergirl with the skirt and all that. But again, the costume looks good, she looks good, and I think she will be good in the film. And look, at the end of the day, I am hoping Andy Muschietti has made a great Flash film because again, the news has come out from CinemaCon, people have seen the film, they go, yep, it's a great film, people love it, people like it. But also, at the end of the day, I feel like part of that is sensationalism. Like, you get that all the time. Like, how many times a superhero film comes out, specifically from Marvel, where a reviewer will go, one of the best Marvel movies in years, or a DC film will come out and they'll be like, one of the best movies since The Dark Knight. Like, yeah, sensationalism to the extreme, and I believe that about The Flash, that all the great positive buzz is everyone going, yeah, it's amazing, it's one of the best films. I don't believe that. I think it will probably be good-ish, but again, I don't know, because visually, I look at some of the stuff and I go, this looks awful. Ezra Miller's new Flash costume looks pretty bad for the most part. There are a couple of shots where I'm like, okay, it doesn't look that bad, it looks alright, but the texture looks weird, it looks like a plastic toy, and then the helmet is so bulbous, and the proportions are all weird on Ezra Miller's body. It's not doing it for me. And then the other Barry is wearing a modified version of the Michael Keaton Batsuit that is painted to look like a Flash costume, which doesn't make any sense because that costume is made out of rubber and doesn't look flexible. And sure, yeah, oh yeah, blah blah blah, super heat resistant, speed resistant material, whatever. It just doesn't look right. It looks silly. And then you just have so many shots in the trailer that just look god-awful. Like, it's all made in the computer, and it doesn't look that great, and I don't love the color grading. Like, it's really, like, saturated, and it looks really artificial. I'm not a fan of it. But to wrap things up, The Flash looks better than I thought it was going to be, but I still don't think it looks that great, and I certainly don't understand the whole this is one of the best superhero films ever made jargon that they're spouting at Warner Brothers, because I don't get it. I mean, I haven't seen the film, but like, just from the trailer, it doesn't look that great. I'm sure Andy Muschietti has told a good story. Andy Muschietti is a good filmmaker. I like his It films. And in the trailer, hidden behind all the nostalgia bait, I can see glimpses of an interesting story here. A little twist on the Flashpoint story. But even still, I'm not in love with a lot of the visual elements. The nostalgia bait of Michael Keaton's Batman is actually quite annoying. And as of right now, I just can't really get excited for superhero films at the minute. Like, Spider-Verse, I'm excited for. But other than that, they all kind of just feel the same. Like, if there's one thing that the audiences have learned from Shazam 2 is that you can't just make generic, mediocre superhero action films. Because although I like Shazam 2, it wasn't that great. It was quite down the middle, an average superhero film. And look, this movie's just been bogged down by controversy and all that. And even Ezra Miller controversy aside, it looks alright. But again, visually, I'm not the biggest fan of it. A lot of the visual elements don't look that great. But I am excited to see things like Sasha Calle's Supergirl and General Zod and all that. So, at the end of the day, I hope this movie surprises me, but as of right now, I am not jumping over the moon about it. But those are just my thoughts on the upcoming Flash movie. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media, all that good stuff. Until we meet again, I'll see you guys next time.